What if I told you that every electronic device you own is just a computer in disguise? Your smart TV, your router, even your fancy coffee maker, they're all computers waiting to be explored. Welcome back to TechSky's Ethical Hacking 2024 playlist. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating aspects of cybersecurity, gaining access to computer systems. Now, before we begin, let me be absolutely clear. Everything we discuss in this video series is for educational purposes only. As ethical hackers and cybersecurity professionals, our goal is to understand these techniques to better protect systems, not to cause harm. Any unauthorized access to computer systems is illegal and unethical. Let's start with a simple truth that will change how you look at technology forever. Every electronic device around you, whether it's a laptop, a smartphone, or even that smart refrigerator in your kitchen, is essentially a computer. They all run operating systems, they all have programs installed, and most importantly, they all have vulnerabilities that need to be understood and protected. In today's video, we're going to explore three critical aspects of gaining access to computer systems: server-side attacks, client-side attacks, and post-exploitation techniques. Think of this as your roadmap to understanding how attackers think and how we can defend against them. First, let's talk about server-side attacks. Imagine a silent predator that doesn't need any help from its prey. That's what server-side attacks are like. These attacks target systems that are always running, always connected, and often forgotten. Your web server, your router, or even that security camera system you set up last year and haven't thought about since, they're all potential targets. What makes server-side attacks particularly interesting is that they don't require any user interaction. All an attacker needs is an IP address, and they can start probing for weaknesses. Common examples include buffer overflow attacks, where attackers exploit memory management vulnerabilities, SQL injection attacks targeting databases, and denial of service attacks that can bring entire systems to their knees. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Let's shift our focus to client-side attacks. Unlike their server-side cousins, these attacks rely on the human element. They require someone to take action, opening an attachment, clicking a link, or installing what looks like a legitimate update. It's like the digital equivalent of the Trojan horse, where the threat comes packaged as something harmless or even helpful. This is where social engineering becomes crucial. Attackers need to understand their targets, their habits, their interests, their weaknesses. They might create a convincing backdoor program, disguise malware as a popular application, or craft a perfectly timed phishing email. The success of these attacks often depends more on psychology than technology. And that brings us to the final piece of our puzzle: post-exploitation. Let's say an attacker has gained access to a system. What happens next? This is where things get really interesting. Once inside, attackers might try to escalate their privileges, moving from a regular user account to administrator access. They might use the compromised system as a stepping stone to reach other machines on the network. They could even establish permanent backdoors to maintain access. Think of post-exploitation like a burglar who doesn't just want to get into your house. They want to find your safe, locate your spare keys, and maybe even install new locks that only they can open. It's not just about getting in, it's about what you can do once you're there. In our upcoming videos, we'll dive deep into each of these aspects. We'll explore specific techniques, look at real-world examples, and most importantly, learn how to defend against these attacks. We'll set up our own lab environment with a Linux machine as our attacker and a Windows system as our target, allowing us to safely practice and understand these concepts. Remember, as we explore these techniques, our goal isn't just to understand how to break into systems. Our real objective is to learn how to protect them. Every vulnerability we discover is an opportunity to build better defenses. Every attack vector we understand is a chance to create more robust security measures. Before we wrap up, let me share a preview of what's coming next in our series. We'll start with server-side attacks, showing you how to identify vulnerabilities in systems without any user interaction. Then we'll move on to client-side attacks, where you'll learn about social engineering and creating safe test environments. Finally, we'll explore post-exploitation techniques and how to prevent attackers from establishing persistence in compromised systems. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll start with server-side attacks. We'll set up our lab environment and begin exploring real vulnerabilities in a controlled, ethical way. Remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with our ethical hacking series. Until next time, remember, knowledge is power, but with great power comes great responsibility. Use your skills ethically, stay curious, and keep learning. This is Tech Sky, signing off.